Hi, Chris Lesso here, LTR Worldwide Drumming, and as we improve our drumming skills, we go to the edge, we get deeper into who we are as people, and sometimes it's not so much about finding yourself, but creating yourself. And really a big part of this is how high are your standards? How high are your standards? So I want to share with you something that I found that really made me question my standards and really raise the bar. Is there's a fantastic ex-Navy SEAL named Jocko Willink, and he's got an amazing podcast, TED Talk, books. He's an amazing human being and a great guy to learn from. He studies jiu-jitsu, and he's the eternal student and holds himself to a high standard. And I heard an episode of his podcast where he reviews the Marine Standards Test. And this is a document that he felt worth it to go through on his podcast. And it moved me a lot, and I want to share it with you. And the podcast is almost 2 hours long, so I highly recommend it. Please check it out. But what I thought would be good for me and to share with all my students and community is on the document was the standard to work on, the trait, and then the low, the entry level, the medium, and then the high standard to hit. Now the high standard to hit, there's no perfect human out there. So probably no one will ever become, you're never going to hit your highest potential and your highest standards, but you can aim for them. And that was really the theme and what this was all about. So Jocko is a fantastic communicator. He's great with his words, and he's really worked on this. So the way he read the high standards part of the document, I thought that would be cool to edit and just put that in an MP3, and I put it in my phone and just have it and listen to it like at least quarterly and just kind of measure yourself, like where are you at with your standards? And this really starts with the small things. It's like how you sign your name, how you walk, how you put on a shirt, just the little, how you walk up a flight of stairs, the tiny things. Now, I saw this epitomized many years ago in a Japanese, I guess you'd call them a tribal drumming group named Kodo. So check out Kodo. They were a massive impact on me, and they still are. They're just the artistry and the drumming and the soul and the discipline and the work. And I remember seeing Kodo live many years ago, and it struck me how they would drum and they would have the piece that they're performing, and it was the way they put down their sticks. And they just did it in such a way that was just a high standard of excellence. And I thought, wow, like we as drummers kind of overlook that sometimes. And the worst aspect of this would be you drum and you kind of go, woo, great set, and you just like throw down your sticks on the floor. If I ever catch my students doing that, I say, this is the dojo. If you're in a dojo, they get you on like how you put your shoes away. You don't just like leave your shoes out. So it's the little things. So watch if you can find a clip of Kodo and watch how they drum and then they put their sticks down in a certain way. So that's a little micro habit that I picked up many years ago, and I still adopt to this day. And I try to see how I can do that in many aspects of my life. So check your standards, continually renew them, and measure yourself and look inward to yourself and see where you're at. I think at least quarterly this is something to do. And this document that Jocko reads really is a great way to do that, and just check out the way he's reading the high standards section of this Marine testing document. So enjoy Jocko Willink, kicking your butt to keep your standards high. My name's Chris Lesso. Visit me at chrislesso.com for LTR Drumming Worldwide. Updates, free content to make you better, and reach into your best self through drumming.
somebody you'll never forget, because I work hard and sweated my tears. Can't be stopped. I'm never falling again, and if I did, I'll come back.
Check yourself. Evaluate yourself honestly. Are you doing what you can do to be better? Are you working as hard as you can? And that just doesn't mean work as in your vocation or your job. Are you working to be a better father or mother or daughter or son? Are you maximizing opportunities? And again, not just professional opportunities, but opportunities to help someone, to teach someone, to coach someone, to make someone else better. Are you maximizing the opportunities to spend time with your family, to strengthen the relationships you have? Are you maximizing the opportunities to make the members of your family better? Are you every day doing everything you can to live the most eminently worthy life you can live? Ask yourself those questions. And when you realize that you fall short, that we all fall short, when you realize that, then get yourself on the path to correct those shortfalls by going out there and getting after it. The eminently qualified Marine. And that's what I think makes this interesting, is to consider that statement, eminently qualified, and think about where you're at. And you're not at the top. I'm not at the top. None of us are at the top. Well, who can be? But what are we striving to be? What are we striving to be? Are we striving to be the most eminently qualified human being that we can be? Individual character. Isn't it legit when you're going to grade someone on their character? This is outstanding. Yeah. This is outstanding. How many people are not thinking about what their character is? How many people are not actively minding the way that their actions reflect their character? Yeah. Happens all the time.
Oh yeah.
If we were thinking about it, if you knew you were getting graded on it, maybe you wouldn't take those base actions.
Yeah. Yeah, kind of goes along with like how you said that one time. Like, imagine someone's videotaping you,
yes,
you know, and they're going to do the playback. It's like, man, if you have that in the back of your mind, yeah, you act right.
That's the first step, though, because that's the first step, because you might think, well, I'm being videoed, but this is what I'm expected to do. So you might be doing something that's not correct. You might be off chart. You might be aiming at the wrong thing. Hey, I'm acting like a tough guy. I want everyone to know that I'm tough. You realize, oh, that's actually stupid.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Huh.
So you can have in your mind that I'm going to keep my character, but you're wrong, because you might be aiming at the wrong thing.
Yeah.
So this gives you some pretty specific things to aim at. You said to yourself, all right, I cannot act that way anymore.
Yeah.
You set a bar for yourself.
Yes, sir.
That's the beginning of solving the problem.
Yeah.
That's what I love about this. It's actually setting a bar of, when you're under stress, this is how you got to act. Because you know, another word you see here a lot in this is action, action, action. Words into action, ideas into actions, skills into action. You can't think things better. It's a solid piece of advice, because he's one of these guys that was a thinker, right? A big thinker. And I'm all about thinking, you know, let's develop our brain. Let's develop our mind power. Let's think about things. Let's be thoughtful. That's fine. But you can't think things better. They're not going to get better unless you actually apply the skills. Skills into action. Thoughts into action. Put it into action, right? Are we doing everything that we could be doing, everything that we should be doing? Are we cutting corners? Are we slacking off? Are we giving ourselves a 5.0 when we should be at best cracking a 2? Daily. How much are we leaving on the table every day? That's a question for you, right? How much are we leaving on the table? How much are you saying, you know what, I can just leave that there, it's fine. How many things just do you accept as collateral damage? Like something goes wrong, like one thing goes wrong, so there's just collateral damage, other things are just gonna fall by the way, and you're good with it.
Yeah.
You're good with it. It's physical fitness. It's what you're eating, your fuel systems that you're putting into your body. It's the family, the effort. What are you doing to improve the skill sets of your children? What are you doing? What are you doing to improve the skill sets of your children? People don't think about that fact. The people that are actually accomplishing the mission are people. If those people aren't ready to perform because you've neglected them, you're not going to be able to accomplish the mission. You need to impose discipline on your life because you will end up in a better situation You'll end up with more freedom is where you're going to end up. Yeah. You know, people, you talk about regret, right? Oh, you go talk to people when they're dying on their deathbed and they're going to regret things they didn't do. There's nothing I can imagine you're going to regret more than when you look back at your life and you say, I didn't achieve what I could have achieved. Yeah. And there's only one way to maximize your achievement, and that's the daily discipline. Daily discipline. Start moving towards the goal of becoming the eminently qualified human being at the pinnacle of performance. And there's a label for this singular Marine at the top of his group, and the label says the eminently qualified Marine. And I remember when I read that, when I read those words, the eminently qualified Marine, and I thought to myself, that is the ultimate praise. And that's pretty much how the Marine Corps evaluation ends. And it ends in this epic way because it is, and it's weird to say this, it's an epic document. It's an epic document. Here's what you have to do to get a 5.0. Inspiring motivator and trainer. Subordinates reach highest level of growth and development. So now all of a sudden it's not even about you anymore. This is about you being a leader, and you, not just what you do, but what your subordinates have to reach the highest level of growth and development. It goes on. Superb organizer. Great foresight. Develops process improvements and efficiencies. Leadership achievement dramatically further command mission and vision. So what you do as a leader dramatically furthers the mission. Perseveres through the toughest challenges and inspires others. Exceptional communicator. How many people do you know that are exceptional communicators? There's not a lot of people that are exceptional communicators. That's a hard thing. That's not only being born with some communication skills, it's actively working and honing those skills through your lifetime before someone tells you you're an exceptional communicator. Makes subordinates safety conscious, maintains top safety record, constantly improves the personal and professional lives of others. So this is barely even about you anymore. It's how well does your team do? Accurately foresees unexpected problems and arrives at well-timed decisions despite fog and friction. That's a big ask right there. You got to be in the game. You got to be in the game to get to that level. Widely recognized and sought after to resolve the most critical, complex problems. Seldom matched analytical and intuitive abilities. Accurately foresees unexpected problems and arrives at well-timed decisions despite fog and friction. Completely confident approach to all problems. masterfully strikes a balance between the desire for perfect knowledge and greater tempo. Dedicated to lifelong learning. As a result of active and continuous efforts, widely recognized as an intellectual leader in professionally related topics, makes time for study and takes advantage of all resources and programs, introduces new and creative approaches to service issues, engages in a broad spectrum of forums and dialogues. Highly developed facility in verbal communication. Adept in composing written documents of the highest quality. Combines presence and verbal skills which engender confidence and achieve understanding irrespective of setting, situation, or size of group addressed. Displays an intuitive sense of when and how to listen. So, read, write, speak, listen, and do it all the time if you're in a leadership position or you want to be in one. Widely recognized and emulated as a teacher, coach, and leader. Any Marine would desire to serve with this Marine because they know they will grow personally and professionally. Subordinate and unit performance far surpasses expected results due to mentorship and team building talents. Attitude toward subordinate development is infectious, extending beyond the unit. That's bold. Now you are training your people so well that other people in other units are starting to train their people. Think about that impact right there. That's how you develop. You develop your subordinates so much that some other leader in a different company, in a different platoon, in a different battalion says, we're going to start following that program. I'm going to start stepping it up. Yeah. That's leadership right there. Uncommon bravery and capacity to overcome obstacles and inspire others in the face of moral dilemma or life-threatening danger. Now, it's not even just about you. You have to actually take it to a level where you're inspiring others. Demonstrated under the most adverse conditions. Selfless. Always places conscience over competing interests regardless of physical or personal consequences. That's that competition we talked about. The competition between, I'm going to take care of myself and I'm going to take care of the team. I'm going to take care of the mission. Between doing what's right to do instead of what is easy to do. Model Marine. Frequently emulated. Exemplary conduct, behavior, and actions are tone setting. An inspiration to subordinates, peers, and seniors. Remarkable dedication to improving self and others. What are you trying to do to get better? True expert in field. Knowledge and skills impact far beyond those of peers. Translates broad-based education and experience into forward-thinking, innovative actions. Makes immeasurable impact on mission accomplishment. Peerless teacher selflessly imparts expertise to subordinates, peers, and seniors. Think about that. That is a high bar. That is a high bar. You could work diligently every single day and fall short of that.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, it's important that you know that you should be working towards it. Recognized expert, sought out by all for technical knowledge. Uses knowledge to solve complex technical problems. Meets advancement requirements early and with distinction. Needs no supervision. Always produces exceptional work. No rework required. Maximizes resources. Model of conduct on and off duty. A leader in physical readiness, exemplifies Navy core values: honor, courage, commitment. Energetic self-starter. completes tasks or qualifications early far better than expected. So you're not just you're doing it early, and it's still even better than everyone else. Plans and prioritizes wisely and with exceptional foresight. Seeks extra responsibility and takes on the hardest jobs. That's 5.0. Team builder, inspires cooperation and progress, focuses goals and techniques for teams, the best at accepting and offering team direction. That's a team player. That's teamwork. Results far surpass expectations. Recognizes and exploits new resources, creates opportunities, emulated, sought after as an expert with influence beyond unit, impact significant, innovative approaches to problems produce significant gains in quality and efficiency. Conscious, overriding decision to risk bodily harm or death to accomplish the mission or save others. The will to persevere despite uncertainty. What if you're thinking about the fact that you're getting graded on your will to persevere despite uncertainty? Think about that every day. You don't know what your future holds, but you're going to persevere regardless. Thinking, functioning, and leading effectively under conditions of physical and or mental pressure, maintaining composure appropriate for the situation while displaying steady purpose of action, enabling one to inspire others while continuing to lead under adverse conditions. Physical and emotional strength, resilience, and endurance are elements. Demonstrates seldom matched presence of mind under the most demanding circumstances. Stabilizes any situation through the resolute and timely application of direction, focus, and personal presence. Seeing what needs to be done and acting without prompting. The instinct to begin a task and follow through energetically on one's own accord. Being creative, proactive, and decisive. Transforming opportunity into action. Highly motivated and proactive. Displays exceptional awareness of surroundings and environment, uncanny ability to anticipate mission requirements, and quickly formulate original, far-reaching solutions. Always takes decisive, effective action. Section number 3, setting the example. The most visible facet of leadership, how well a Marine serves as a role model for all others. Personal action demonstrates the highest standards of conduct, ethical behavior, fitness, and appearance. Bearing, demeanor, and self-discipline are elements. Noticeably enhances subordinates' well-being, resulting in measurable increase in unit effectiveness. Maximizes unit and base resources to provide subordinates with the best support available. Proactive approach serves to energize unit members to take care of their own, thereby correcting potential problems before they can hinder subordinates' effectiveness. Widely recognized for techniques and policies that produce results and build morale. Builds strong family atmosphere. Puts motto, mission first, Marines always, into action. Boom. Clearly articulates thoughts and ideas verbally and in writing. Let's think about that. Do you know how hard it is for people to clearly articulate thoughts and ideas verbally and in writing? It is a skill you need to work on all the time. Anticipation, mental agility, intuition, and success are inherent. This is not the first time they brought up intuition in here. How do you develop intuition? Experience, wisdom, reading. Decisions reflect exceptional insight and wisdom beyond this Marine's experience. Counsel sought by all, often an arbiter. Consistent, superior judgment inspires the confidence of seniors. Solid. And it was a good guide to being a really good SEAL, a really good sailor, a really good person. And as you read through some of these 5.0 qualities, here's the one for command organizational climate / equal opportunity. So if you're a 5-0 in this category, measurably contributes to the Navy's increased retention and reduced attrition objective. Proactive leader, exemplary mentor, involved in subordinates' personal development, leading to professional growth and sustained commitment. Initiates support programs for military, civilian, and families to achieve exceptional command and organizational climate. The model of achievement. Develops unit cohesion by valuing differences as strengths. Think about this one, translates skills into actions. That's kind of a big deal. How many people have skills, but they can't translate them into actions? Think about that's your life. Hey, you got some skills, but you don't use them. You can't put them anywhere. You can't put them into effect. Number one thing for the high end, promotes creativity and energy among subordinates by striking in the ideal balance of direction and delegation. Achieves highest levels of performance from subordinates by encouraging individual initiative. That's decentralized command. I'm going to let you guys run, and that's going to maximize performance. This is an incredible term. Engenders willing subordination, loyalty, and trust that allows subordinates to overcome their perceived limitations. Willing subordination, when your team actually wants to follow you. Personal leadership fosters highest level of motivation and morale, ensuring mission accomplishment even in the most difficult circumstances. That is an unachievable human.
Yeah.
It's an unachievable Marine. You will not be that good. You cannot hold all those categories. But let me tell you something. That is no reason to not aspire to become the most eminently qualified human being that you can become. Just because it's an impossible path, just because it's a path with no end to it, just because you'll never reach the top of the mountain ever, you will not. You cannot. Guess what? That is no reason to stop. Guess what? Jiu-jitsu, you're going to get tapped out. There's always going to be someone that can tap you out. Always. 100% of the time. The best guys in the world get tapped out. Think about, are there areas that you know what the goal is, that you're walking around thinking that you deserve a 5.0, but you really actually deserve a 2? I know I do that.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I'm thinking I'm good. I'm walking around. I'm thinking I'm running everything right. I'm thinking I come correct.
Yep. Yes, sir.
But the reality is I don't.
Yeah.
And the reality is you have that little moving goalpost in your head. You move it around a little bit, right? You give yourself a little bit more slack one day, then you tighten it up because you're feeling good the next day, then you slack it off a little bit more. But as far as you're concerned, that's a 5.0, right? You're there.
Yeah.
You're in there. And the reality is I don't measure up the way I should be measuring up on a daily basis, on an hourly basis. Who's grading me? Who's lying to me? You know who is? Me.
Yeah.
Me. But until we clarify what the aim is, what the goal is, and what those standards are, how am I supposed to hold myself accountable to those standards when they don't even exist? So I'm going to make them exist.
Yeah.
I'm going to put them on paper.
Yeah.
We're going to come up with that eminently qualified human being, what that looks like. A biannual, twice a year, every 6 months you're getting a grade, that doesn't help you. What you need to look at yourself every day. You need to look at yourself every day and say, did I truly live the way I should be living today? And then you look at yourself and say, wait a second, where did my time go today? What grade do I get today for time management?
Yeah, that's a big one.
Because did I spend time doing things that I got negative value? Never mind break even, actually negative value.
Yeah.
How often are you at a public place and you see a family and they're running late or whatever, and you see a leader of the family, mother or father, freaking out and losing their composure over the stress that we're actually joking about?
Yeah.
You're a little bit serious, I'm joking about it, but still. You see people lose their minds because of dumb things.
Oh yeah.
and there's a little bit of stress in their world, and they drop the ball. They freak out.
Exactly right.
So my question is, do those people, has anyone ever sat them down and explained to them what the standard is? And that's my point here.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of times, people don't even recognize, they don't even know, they don't even understand what the eminently qualified human being, how they're going to act in these situations.
Yeah.
How often are people deterred by difficult situations? Daily. Morally difficult situations. It's not just the grading part. It's, you have to know what the standard is, because that guy might not even understand. Hey, if I lose my temper, I think it was JP. JP really took it to heart when he heard me say, losing your temper is a weakness.
Yeah.
Before that, he just didn't, because you see other people in your life, you see other team guys, you see your dad, you see your uncle, and they fly off the handle, and you almost have a respect for it, right? You definitely respect when your dad loses your temper, you kind of think, wow, that's powerful. How can I have some of that power? Well, you just do that, right? So it's a learned mechanism. And then eventually you realize, or someone tells you, hey, when you lose your temper, you're not in control. Matter of fact, you're not in control at all. And whatever made you lose your temper is controlling you. And losing your temper is a weakness. And so that's the big difference. It's not just, hey, you're being graded, you're being watched, which is definitely a great mindset to have. But you have to understand what the parameters are that you're being measured by, that you're being graded on. Guess what? What'd you get today? What'd you do today? Same thing, opposite, right? The opposite can happen, where someone thinks, well, I did something today, so I'm good. No. No. And the other collateral damage is, I did good physical fitness today, so I'm going to take tomorrow off. Or I'm going to eat a crappy meal. We get that pizza together. Right? We don't want that. And when I say we, I mean me. And that, why is that? Because we've created this pliable standard in our head that we move around based on our little feelings. There's always, you're never going to get to the top of the mountain, but that is not a reason to stop climbing. Just because you're not going to reach the top of the mountain doesn't mean you stop climbing. No, actually you climb harder. You see where you can get. But if you don't know what you're climbing, if you don't understand the mountain, if you can't see the summit, you don't know where to climb. And then you just look around and go, well, I might as well just slide down. Because it takes physical and mental exertion to move up the mountain. And if I don't even know where the top is, I can't tell where I am. I can't tell if I'm halfway up the mountain, a quarter way up the mountain. I can't tell if I'm close to the top, bottom of the top. I can't tell. So there's enough reason for me just to sit around and do nothing. Break out the donuts. You have to step it up. You have to have the unmitigated daily discipline in all things, and that's hard. It's hard for one day, never mind every single day. Start moving towards the goal of becoming the eminently qualified human being.
Watch me, people. I am great and I am somebody. I've been up and down so many times. No one's gonna ever stop me because I'm somebody. I am beautiful.
Are you with me?
I'm the best the world has ever seen. The best ever. I'm somebody you'll never forget because I work hard and sweated my tears. Can't be stopped. I'm never falling again, and if I did, I'll come back.